Hi everyone, so today I want to show you this cute little perfume bottle gift box. Now I originally saw this on Pinterest and it was all done in centimetres, and it was done by Judy Scrap. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but I'll put her name in the description below so you know, and probably on the screen as well. And it was, yeah, as I said, it was all in centimetres, so I've transferred it over to inches and I've made it up, and I think it's really cute. I've used the Mermaid and Unicorn Miri pack from Dovecraft, and then over the top of that I've die cut out some out of the A5 white glitter adhesive sheets, also from Dovecraft. I've die cut out some little leaves and just stuck them onto the Miri, so that is what you've got there. And then the front greeting is actually cut out of Dovecraft Rainbow Miri card, so that's what I've used there. So yeah, so that's what I've done. So it's quite a cool little box, and yeah, the die, the Just For You die as well, is from In Love Art Shop. If you use my code Icedimages, you'll get 20% off your order. And the leaf die is also an In Love Art Shop. It was actually a freebie, so I'm not sure if they've still got it on their site. If they have, I will link it below. But yeah, so that's the make for today. It measures, just in case you're wondering what it measures 3 inches by 1 inches by 5. 3 by 1 by 5. Okay, so it's quite a nice size. It's quite decent. But yeah, so that's it. So let's get into it. So for that little gift box, which is very cute, you'll just need 3 pieces of card. Your first one is 5.5 by 8 1/4. And on this one, on the long edge, you're going to score at 3 inches, at 4 inches, at 7 inches, and at 8 inches. So obviously that last little bit is only 1/4 inch. If you've got paper, like letter size paper, that's 8.5 wide, that will make your life a bit easier. So that is that lot of scoring done. Then we need to turn it round, and we're going to score at 1 inch, at 4 inches, and at 5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to put this to one side for the moment. We'll come back to that in a minute. Next up, we have another piece of card which is 3.5 by 4 inches, and along the 4-inch side you're going to score at 1 inch, at 1 3/4, at 2 3/4, and at 3.5. Then we're going to turn it round and we're going to score at 3/4 inch. I'm going to go this way. At 3/4 inch, and then at 2 3/4. Doesn't really matter which way you turn it, because both score lines are 3/4 inch away from the edge. So that is that one done. And last but not least, we have this piece, which is 1 3/4 by 3.5. And on this one, we're going to score at 1 inch, at 1.5, at 2.5, and at 3. And then we're just going to turn this round, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and we're also going to score at 1 1/4, which again is just 1/2 inch in from the edge. Okay, so that's your 3 pieces all scored, ready to go. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and just fold and burnish all of our score lines. Right, so we'll start with the biggest piece. So all we're going to do, I've got my little 1/4 inch on the right hand side, and then this big square on the left. Okay, so with it like that, along the bottom here, you're just going to cut straight up the first score line, and then just notch it just on that one side, just on the right hand side. This one can be straight, because I'm going to round these corners in a bit. And then we want to go up. We actually want to go all the way up. We want to go straight up to here, actual fact, like that. And we're actually going to be notching this square, not this bit here. So let me just quickly do that. Right, and then the other thing we want to do is notch this square here, and then we're going to cut the whole of this section here and this bit out. So you should end up with that. And then what we're going to do, as I said, these two bits here, I'm just going to corner around them. So then what I've done here is I have notched that slightly. We're going to do the same at this end here. So just going to notch this one slightly as well. And then at the top here, we are going to, again, just notch this top tab here, just slightly there. And then we're going to notch down this one. And then this one, you can notch ever so slightly. You want it to be more or less straight. But I'm just going to bring it in a fraction, like literally a fraction. Same on this side here. You just want to go like literally a fraction. This one can be more notched because it's more of a tab. And then again here, this is the other side of that same tab. So we're going to notch that bit. And then this bit here, again, pretty much straight. But you can angle it slightly if you wish. And obviously the same again here, but you literally want, if you're going to angle it, it needs to be a fraction. Right, I'm going to go ahead and put this one together before we go ahead and do the rest. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to put some red tape on here. So you want either red tape or glue on this piece here. And then you really want to be decorating this before we assemble it all, because it just makes it a bit easier if you're doing it before you assemble it. So what we're going to do, well, the main panels anyway, is this will come up like that and will stick on. Now normally you'd have this as the top, but it's actually going to be side opening, so you want that to be the side opening. So that will stick on like that. Now if you want to, this can be the front and you can have it side opening like that. I might do it that way around, I think. So what we want to do is we're going to go and put a big panel here. So you want a big piece here and a big piece here. And then you're going to need 1, 2, 3 rectangles to go around the sides. I wouldn't worry about this bit here because that's going to be the bottom of your box. In fact, we could do it that way actually. Let's do it this way up, and then we can make that tab can be at the bottom at the back. So I think I'm going to do it that way, and this is going to be my. I think it must. I'm not sure which is my front is going to be. I think I might make this my front actually. So actually, what I will do then is I'm going to stick this one down. I will stick this one down. It's just going to make things a bit easier, I think, than because I can kind of know where's up, where's down, etc. So I'm just going to fold and stick that. So there we go, that's like that. So it's going to be that way around. So that's going to be my front. So I've got these panels here. Now, if you want to mat and pattern them, you can. I was going to do that, and then because of a mistake that I made, I decided I'm just going to mat them, and I'm going to make my pattern. So what I've done is I've taken this beautiful matte Miri card, which is from the Dovecraft Mermaid and Unicorn Miri card pack, and I've cut out the right sizes that I want. And then what I've done is I've cut using that free die that I got from In Love Art Shop. This is a free die that I got from In Love Art Shop when I placed my last order. I think it's still available. If this is still available, I will list it down below. And so what I did was I just cut it out of sheets of that white glitter adhesive, the white adhesive glitter sheets that again from Dovecraft, the A5 ones, and I've just cut out a whole load and just stuck them straight on. So obviously because they're adhesive, they stick really nicely. So yeah, so I did that. So these are going to go on the front and the back, and I've got 2 of those. So these measure 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. That's the mat. If you do want a pattern, they need to be, well, you can go 2.5 by 2.5, but I think I would probably go 2 5/8 by 2 5/8 because I think you want quite a narrow border on it. And then you need 3 pieces, which is going to be your top and your sides, and these measure 3/4 by 2 3/4 for the mat. If you're going to go for a pattern, then I would probably go for 5/8 by 2 5/8. I'd go just a little bit smaller. I wouldn't go too much smaller. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm just going to stick this one on front and back, and then I'm going to stick my 2 sides on, and I'm going to stick them here, and then this will be one that folds down. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. Right, so you should end up with that, and I've just realised, you know, with these flaps here, you really do need them straight. I've actually notched that way too much, otherwise your pattern panel, your matte panel, is on, it's not straight, but it's fine. When we stick it, you'll still see the white behind, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just going to turn this over, and what's going to end up is that's going to go in like that, that's going to fold down, and that's going to go on the top like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on these two, and then also on this, well actually I'll probably do it on this one here. And you can go a little bit thicker with your red tape this time. You can use wet glue if you want to. I'm going to go with red tape because then I know it's definitely stuck. Right, so I've stuck, as you can see, tape on the outside of my tabs and the inside of my patterned flap. So now we're just going to take off, in fact, let me just do this bit up, because if I do this up and just tuck that in the way it is going to be, so that's going to be closed like that, and then it just gives a bit more stability for my box then. So we're going to fold this tab over like that, and obviously if you go from the other side you can just press down. I'll do that in a minute, and then we'll just take the backing off this and fold that down, stick that down like that, and then let me just undo this side, and then I can get in there and just give that a bit of a stick down, make sure it's all properly stuck on the inside. So it feels weird because obviously that feels like the way it should be, but it's not. It's going to be on its side like that. Okay, so that's going to be your base. So if you want to decorate your base, you can, but there's sort of not any need to. So next we need to deal with a little piece, the connector piece between this and the very top of the lid. So it's part of the lid. It's the very smallest of pieces of card. So on this one, what we want to do is on this end here, we are just going to cut up. So not the first square, the second square along. Just going to notch that slightly. And then this very end square, we are going to notch too, and we do the same on the opposite side like that. And then what we want to do is we're going to cut straight up there and then notch this little tab. So notch the little tab and then cut straight up. Same here, and you do the same on this piece here. And then you're going to repeat that entire thing on the other side. So you should end up with that. So this is pretty much the similar kind of thing to what we've just done. So we're going to take the red tape and we're going to put a little bit on this tab on the end. And then we're also going to put a little bit on these flaps here as well. And then the other thing I need to do next is just flip this over, and because this is all going to go together like that, and then what I'm going to do is on this, so where I've got my end tab there, these two here, I'm going to put tape, red tape on those as well. Right, and so with this, what we're going to do again, if we just fold this side tab over like that, and then bring this over and stick it into position like that. So you've got a tiny little square, and then we're just going to fold these two down, and that is going to stick over there like that, and that's going to stick on the top like that, and the same here. But before we do that, I want to decorate it. So again, so I'm making this my top. I'm going to just make a little mark, so I'm going to cover it up. So that's my top, that's my bottom, and then I want obviously all the way around. So for this, you don't need to cover up these two pieces, although I have a feeling I've cut pieces out for it. I don't know if I have. Anyway, yeah, I think I have. Yeah, I think I have cut pieces out. You don't need pieces for the top and bottom because you're not going to see them, because both of them are going to be stuck. So you only need two pieces that are going to go here and here, and these measure 5/8. Let's just measure them, make sure we're giving the right measurements. So these are 5/8 by 7/8. So you need two of those, one for the front, one for the back, and then you need two on the sides, and these measure 1/2 inch by 5/8. So they are minuscule, I mean properly tiny. I put tape on the back of mine before I started. I also decided I wasn't going to do the foliage trick on them because they're just a little bit too small, and they are kind of like the divider they're kind of like the connecting part. So I thought they probably don't need to have that on them. So I'm going to go ahead now and just stick these 4 pieces down. Okay, so that's my sides done. So then we're just going to take the backing off of these tabs. Then we push those 2 little tabs down and we fold this over the top and stick it down. And you can obviously stick your finger in, stick that down like that. Okay, so we just stuck that bit down. Then we want to do the same here. Now obviously this is super fiddly now because you have nothing to push against. So if you want to, you could put something on the inside of here just to kind of bulk it out, just like a little bit of card or something on its end so that you've got something to push against. I'm just going to wing it and hope for the best. We will see how we go. So I'm going to put that down like that. It's kind of okay. And then we are also going to do the same with this one. So this is the top. So what we want to do on this one is, it's quite simple. Where it's like this, you just want to literally just cut down all of your, you just want to cut down all of your lines. And then you actually need to cut this one off here. You don't need that one on there because that's your little connecting tab. So that's going to be like that. This is also just a side tab, so that can be because you've got like 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1/2 inch, 3/4. So all your 1/2 inch tabs can just be I think they're 1/2 inch, whatever the smallest one is, can just be notched, and then your other ones can be straight because they're going to be like your end flaps, as it were. So you want to go straight up that one and then just notch the smaller one. So you can do that all the way along the bottom and also along the top. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to put a piece of red tape on this end tab, because that's our connecting tab. And then we're also going to put red tape on the ends of these 2 tabs for now. So that's what you should end up with. So then if we just kind of do a little fold and just see where we're at. So that is going to go up. These are going to go up there. So I think I'm going to make these are going to be at the front. These are my front ones, my front pieces. So for that reason, I'm going to put an F on them so I remember. I'm going to put some tape on the inside at the top like we did with the other 2. Okay, so that's what you end up with. And then what we're going to do is same again. So we're just going to peel off the backing. If you find it easy to decorate before you put it together, then you can go ahead and do that. Right, so we're going to turn that over, put this over here like that. So that makes your little box. Okay, so it's going to be like that. That's my front. Yeah, that's the front piece. So that's the bit you're going to see at the front. That's the top. That's the back. And that's the bottom. So you're going to need for this 2 tiny pieces for the sides, and these measure 1/2 inch by 7/8, so they're going to be on the sides. You need 2 of those, and then your pieces for the front and the back, these measure 1 3/4 by 3/4, so that's for your front and back. And then the top and bottom, and I would do a bottom on this one just because you are going to see it, you need 2 pieces that are 1/2 inch by 1 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead now and stick all of these pieces down. Okay, so we've decorated that. So we're going to do the same again. So we're just going to take the tape backing off of the tabs, fold them down, and then we're just going to stick. So they're actually going to stick on top of each other because of the size of them. And then we're going to stick that down like that. And if you want, you can put your finger in on this one, you can. And then we'll peel off the backing on the back of that piece there we've decorated, and just turn that and stick that down like that. And then we're going to repeat the process all over again on this side. Okay, so now we just need to assemble it all. So you can choose whatever glue you think is going to be the strongest. I've decided I am going to go for Yoo-Hoo. I'm hoping this will work because it's nice and strong glue. I was going to use silicone glue, but I'm a bit concerned that's not necessarily going to work. So I'm going to turn this round, and then this needs to go nice and central on the top. Now, if you want to measure it and make sure it's definitely central, then you can, but I'm just going to guess it and hope for the best. Okay, so that is on there like that. I've just taken off the decoration on the bottom there because I want a smooth surface to stick that onto. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to add some more glue onto here. Again, whatever you've got that's strong is what you need to use for this. I did consider maybe bradding the layers together, putting brads in between, but anyway, I didn't end up doing that. So this is going to go on top, and again, just need to get it as central as possible. Okay, so I went ahead and found a greeting. So this is an In Love Art Shop die, and it's just the greeting, and it comes with the shadow, which you know I like a die with a shadow. So I've cut it out of some Dovecraft Rainbow Miri card, the pink one, because it's very similar to what I've got here. And then I've also found a little bow just in my stash. So that is going to go on the front there. Now, if you wanted to wrap a ribbon around, you could. I was going to make this a little bit more kind of, you know, French classy kind of perfume. But I quite like this on the front, how big it is, because I quite like that kind of, you know, when you get those kind of perfumes from, like, I don't know, Beyonce and, you know, whatever. I thought the youth perfumes, you know. So I quite liked that kind of edginess, and I like the lettering on it, so I thought I'd go for that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on with some silicone glue. And there we have it. So there you have your little perfume gift box. I think it looks really cute. I'd quite like to do another version of it, a bigger version. Yeah, but I really like it. I think it's really sweet. Really cute. I'm being careful because I've got silicone glue all over it, you know, underneath. But yeah, that's quite sweet and quite nice. And if you wanted to as well, is you could, you know, leave these open and maybe put a little thing in there. You'd be hard pushed to put anything in there unless you've got anything, you know, in your country that maybe is small enough to put in there. But yeah, I like the way it looks. I love this decoration technique. I just think that's so cool. It looks very nice. So you're sort of making your own pattern paper in a way. But yeah, so there you go. So that's the video for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you like, you know, if you like it or not. Tell me what other size, if you'd like me to do another size, what sizes you'd like to do it in. Yeah, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.